This is more Homestuck. I mean yeah, it's Homestuck technically, but we're back to Hiveswap Act 1. And I'm gonna continue off last time. And oh boy, if I end up rating really well in this episode, it'd be because I did this twice, and my recording equipment I am slowly hating because it doesn't tell me when I'm recording. So I made some precautions to make sure I am recording this time. Oh boy, mouthful. Alright, let's get this started. Let me clear my throat. I literally read this 2 times. Forgive me. It's a machine designed to take your clothes and wash them. You call it a washing machine. It serves its purpose admirably, on the rare occasion a human being is willing to cooperate. You always check your pockets for priceless, irreplaceable heirlooms before you do the laundry. They would just dissolve, and wouldn't that be a waste? How could you look at a hungry pup or an eye after you've thrown away your treats on washing machine science? Not even science, really. Just foolishness. The art on these is surprisingly durable. You guess it's so kids can click and slam their trash discs at each other without rubbing the Power Rangers off of them. The washing machine wouldn't even make a dent. By the time a battery needs to be washed, you probably just be throwing it away. By which you mean dropping it off at one of the designated battery disposal sites in your area, because that's definitely what you do. Yep. The rhythmic rumbling does make a beat that you could maybe dance to if the power isn't out. You usually wash your ballot slippers on cold, then you don't put them in the dryer, which is easy to remember because you don't have one. All neat and folded. Just kidding, this is obviously dirty. You give it a little polish of a relatively clean looking sock. Shining like a diamond now. Shining like a diamond? Of course, you'll just, oh, for a second it kinda looked like there was a teddy bear in there. No such luck. When you do laundry, you separate the whites from the colors, but pogs are white on one side and colored on the other. You realize you're just making nonsense connections to distract yourself from power being out in the creepy basement full of your creepy dad's garbage and the literal monsters in your house, and why isn't there anyone here to help you? Why do you have to be grown up through all of this? Where is the life you were supposed to have? Hey look, this pog has a lizard on it. You have a shirt with a lizard on it. Shirts go in the laundry. A dirty sock full of batteries could actually do some pretty serious damage, but a flashlight full of batteries can do even more, especially when wielded by Joey Claire extraordinaire. This pile is a little too soft and settled for your powerful hot stepping to have any effect, unlike that heap of boxes on the far wall. Those were made to be tap-tumbled. Yeah, they could usually use washing, but you could use using them more. Your pa bought this home as a souvenir. There's nobody inside it. It's kind of like a metaphor, you guess? You're not sure you want to start down the road of analyzing your life as if it were a work of fiction. A treasure mysterious heirloom like this is exactly what knights should be either defending or questing after, you think. Although you guess those two groups of knights might disagree on a few key issues, you also think, after the first thing you thought. You wouldst offer this tough customer a pet treat? Forsooth, insult the knight at your peril. Or like whatever, you guess. It's not like they have a sword. You're just trying to keep it light. Just doing a little light goofing. You slot one in through a gap in the armor. You expect it to fall and to make a soft plink sound, but the sound it makes only can be described as the sound a pog makes when a creeped out kid slots it into a gap in an empty suit of armor left in the basement years ago by her now absent father. Any batteries that would move this tall drink of metal would have to be like Z-cells, at least. Also, its forging predates battery-powered locomotion of suits of armor. So does yours, come to think of it. Huh. Solid as rock. You expect it to rattle a little, at least, but you guess you're nothing compared to a fire-breathing lizard, which is certainly not a thing that is real. Those are fake, for sure, forever, and also in the past. All fake as heck. Well, they've got the legs for it, but even if they've been trained, you think they might be a little rusty? A souvenir from your pa after his trip to Hawaii. He's been exploring the Pacific a lot lately, for some reason. Or so he mentioned, offhandedly, a few years ago. You assume he's still doing that? Due to you not having any fresher data, or particularly caring one way or another where the hell he is. What? Just jab her in the belly button or something? Wait, where did that come from? Weird. Spaceman is weird, and you don't want to be in it anymore. They aren't pets. They're okay, well, they're not either, obviously, but they also aren't dolls. Or if they are dolls, why are they so big? They frankly creep you the heck out, sorry. And that's why they're down here. Pogs, or milk caps. The game Pogs are an in-your-face corporate branding of actually originated in Hawaii. That isn't Hawaii's fault. That isn't Hawaii's fault, though, as far as you know. You're pretty sure that ukulele is acoustic. Do a quick tap routine for the hula girls. No response, but they did. But hey, did that pile of boxes against the wall just shift a little? You purr yet for the hula girls. They stare at you, unmoved, also unliving. Pa loves his blue ladies portraits so much he keeps redundant backups scattered around, because it's okay if you ignore something supposedly precious to you, as long as you're paying attention to something kind of similar in another location, right? You decide not to pull on that psychological thread because you have important work to do, and who needs that crappy old blowhard anyway? Your babysitter sometimes cracks into your pa's special reserve, and she tends to do it down here so you and Ju don't see. You aren't really sure what to say about it, or if you even have any business saying anything about it at all. Yeah, you know your babysitter tries her best, and her best is usually pretty wonderful. She's really sweet and cool and like super smart, but yeah, it'd be nice if your mom was still around. They're just dissolve, probably. Just a couple of shameful habits. That wouldn't be good for the batteries, you think. But you're not a chemist or a mixologist. You don't want to send that hot cup of negligence clattering all over the place, do you? Ugh, that was really mean. She really is a great babysitter. You're just in kind of a crappy mood today. Ballot demands precision and grace, not accessible to the inebriated. Also, you're 14. Maybe it's because you... Oh, hold on. Maybe it's because you grew up in a house where nobody really cooks, but you have no idea what to do with these cooking implements. Food! The great mystery. Your mom was a heck of a cook, you've been told, but none of this stuff is hers. Guess it's Pa's, but why? Why does a man who never so much as boiled water and fed his kids own a bunch of branded cookware? Mystery. Another crappy mystery about your crappy Pa. They're ready for plating as is. Pets aren't that particular. You don't ever have to illuminate up a pet treat. Pets are pretty lowbrow when you get right down to it. They could serve as little plates or coasters, you guess, in a pinch. There might be a battery-powered turkey carver or something in here. Oh no, there might be a battery-powered turkey carver or something in here. You can defend yourself. No, wait. Betty Crocker's like baking. The best they're going to find is a battery-powered auto whisk. You'll stick to your flashlight and your footsies. No dice. Maybe this box pile isn't precarious enough to tap dance it to an ambulance. In another life, you might have taken up the spatula instead of the slipper. Hard to imagine, but hey, so are monsters, and with dawning dread, you begin to suspect that those might possibly be a little bit real. With your paw strange affinity towards the Betty Crocker brand ever apparent, this musty old junk mainly consists of all sorts of cooking implements, ranging from the familiar to the enigmatic. Really now, you can tell what a whisk is for, but some of this stuff looks downright unethical. It's also in your way! You can't reach the circuit breaker! Try to move one box and the whole pile is liable to come tumbling down on you. You need to find a way to get them all moving at once. Shake them up somehow. A control and tumble. That's the ticket. And this is exactly why you were keeping your heirloom in your room in the first place. Your paw has a habit of moving things to the basement or an attic in moss whenever he blows into town, just to make room for a bunch more junk. Leaving any kind of food around disused piles of cardboard is kind of like drawing a summoning circle, if what you're trying to summon is rats, mice, and cockroaches. Wait, summoning? Are these monsters magic? Is magic real? Pfft, no way. No way in the world. Yes, maybe? Even your heftiest slammer couldn't tip this stack. But think back to how you get these pogs. Weren't they in another box you were having trouble with? How'd you solve that problem? You already know the answer to the questions, of course. You're trying to pretend you're still on track to cover up this humiliating pog solution goth. Electricity is what you need. Yeah, but you can't get to the dang circuit breaker if this resilient stack of junk in the way. If only you had some way to unsell it. Better stop at your game, Joey. Totally unmoved, you'll need to step a little livelier to get the sturdy stack out of the way. You clear the boxes away with your fancy footwork. Now just give the breaker a tug, or whatever. The path to the circuit breaker is pretty clear now. Nothing really stopping you from, doing something with that. After you took all the trouble to dance these boxes of old cooking junk into an out-of-way corner of your creepy basement, you want to leave your precious, beautiful heirloom from your dear, sweet mom in them? Well, no you don't. No treats for these boxes. They've been bad. That's why you're in a corner, obviously. As long as you're shoveling all the garbage to the corner, no. You'll hold on to them for now. They might come in handy. As unlikely as that sounds. Maybe you'll come dump them down here when they're dead. That's better for the environment. You think? Sometimes it's hard to know what's good for the environment. Captain Planet can only see so much per episode, and he's usually busy making puns about criminals cleaning up their act. You dance that stuff into the corner, which was improbable enough, and now you want to dance it back into your way? Come on, kiddo. You tell yourself, these antics are wearing thin. Just get the power back on. What Tap has done, Ballet cannot undo. Oldest rule in the book. It's not locked, and even if it were, that would be a pretty anticlimactic answer to the "what the heck is this thing" riddle. Sure, fine, okay, leave one in the box. Just flip this breaker, okay? Please? You're getting pretty creeped out down here. You may have mentioned this already. You don't need to flip a pog to flip the circuit breaker. You just need to flip the circuit breaker. Flip the circuit breaker, Joey! It needs no batteries. Just throw that switch. Go for it. You already danced them battle cockroaches out of the way. Just use the circuit breaker. You're home free. You did all the dancing you need to do. Vis-a-vis, getting the power turned back. Maybe try using your arms, specifically your hands, more specifically on the circuit breaker. Sorry for the attitude. You're just getting severely creeped out. Still. You flipped the breaker and... Strike! Too precious to weaponize. Peace treaty. Condition untreatable. The room where the slap is. Time to slam. Slam slump. Let's do lunge. Assault and battery. Shocking failure. The room where it slappens. Shuffling and scoot. Hot steppin'. Gotta hand it to you. Later luck next time. Pruitt and Bob. Pruitt luck next time. Next for let go of the past. Disobedient servant. Graceful up's gone. Perma up's gone. Joe. Power back on. Never doing. You're doing or psyops of encroaching forces. Over. Give you backlight only to snatch it away. Describe hypothetical. Very cruel. Dealing with sick operators. Over. No, it was just me. Criminy, Jude. That snake monster is down in the basement, by the way. I managed to get past him, but we'll probably need to deal with that at some point. Second encounter with said serpent, correct? Beast wildly. But sinister, already established, superior. Willingness, attribute, over. Hey, thanks, I think. Trophy room, should be trivial obstacle, over. Wait, what? Act, key, Joey. Eyes on the prize, keep me in loop, over and out. Alright, I guess we're going to the trophy room now. Strive! So this is what was blocking the door. He looks hungry. Opening course. Fletcherized in the prize. Passion, orange, Buva. Fruitless endeavor. Find your luck next time. Ah, he really enjoyed the picture. Maybe you don't need to find him after all. Better up. Better luck next time. Better luck next time. Appetizer. Main roars. Y'all ready for this? Please excuse me. Choo to tango. Choose your battles. Light on your feet. Light bite. Choose your battles. Anyone for seconds? Make mine a double. Treat to a bulb. Alright, monster inflicted death scene averted. You are unbelievably stressed out right now. Congratulations, you've ascended to rung 2, attained rank of tail wagging tyro, max AP increased by 12, muscle increased by 7. Congratulations, you've ascended to rank 3, attained rank of neonate mammal mender, dexterity increased by 2, grace increased by 6, leverage increased by 5. Congratulations, you've seen the wrong 4. Attend the rank of Peppy Patterer, Mastered Noggin Bob. Hubris increased by 4, Courtesy decreased by 2. So, where's the key? In his desk or something? Would never leave critical item in such obvious location. Over. Okay, but like, where did you leave it? I just had to lure a hungry monster out here retreats, and I'm not sure how much time I have for brother-sister conspiracy capers before it comes back. If room compromised, can't discuss. Countermeasures over unsecured line. Utilize puzzler skill set. Over. Fine. Call back if assistance required. Over and out. Seems like someone sliced this big fella's hand off. Lucky he's a lefty. At least posthumously. It's a little out of season. It's inside an empty suit of armor. Is that a good hiding place? Or the first place someone would look? You guess you've never looked in there, so it's not the first place. Heck, that thing could be full to the brim of secret treasures and answers to wild mysteries, and you would have no idea. And you never will. Maybe he was offering that big kitty head a treat, and it bit his hand off. You're just kidding around, but it makes you feel better about the beautiful noble animal your paw shot and decapitated. Pogs, like suits of armor, are actually not all that common, despite being all their respected eras will probably be remembered for. You can just see it now. You're living in the Pog epoch. The idea of the battery-powered suit of armor fills your mind with visions of big, armored machine knights, loyal only to their queen, knowing no fear, utterly unstoppable. They aren't especially pleasant visions, so you stop envisioning them. This fella's already lost his right arm. You start stepping at him and he's likely to rattle to bits. Pardon me. You don't stand a chance of lifting this varnished brute. Maybe he could lift you, but between the hand on the floor and the handful of sword, you think he'll pass on this. This is a katana. You have no idea what to do with one. Wait, maybe you'll just throw it away. Your mom left you this key, so it's your heirloom. Your pa probably stole this katana from someone, so somewhere out there, there's a kid going without their heirloom. This makes you a little sad, even though you made it up. Calling a katana your pet seems like the kind of thing that boys who watch too much Japanimation would do. You let a pog fall on the upturned blade of the katana. It slices right in half. But whether this is because the katana is very sharp or the pog is very crappy, none can truly say. Well, if the pog can handle rumbling in a washing machine, then maybe it's just the slice, the very sharpness of the sword. But who does to say? I'm just using literary devices previously introduced. An electric katana would be, okay, you have to admit that would be pretty cool, like something a bad guy from a Japanese role-playing game would have. And it would be all tiny in this sprite's little hand until you actually got into battle, and then it would be shown to actually be 9 feet long. If you're going to hold something while you're tap danced, it'd be a cane, just like the great Fred Astaire, who you know is a phenomenal tap dancer, and you literally know nothing else about him. Ballet is the most elegant and demanding type of dance. Maybe katanas are the same, but for swords? Look, you're going to lay it all on the line. Ballet rules, and you really don't give a flying frog about katanas. You're just trying to be nice. This is exactly the kind of thing you wish wasn't in your house. Why couldn't your paw just leave their regular eyes in? And also, more importantly, leave their head attached to their body. You would like to put something in those sockets, but what? Also, wait, why do you want to do that so much? That's weird. You stare into the empty sockets of the cat head, then at the red and green jewels on the key. Look back at the empty sockets, then back to the red, green, and jewels. You hope this big kitty had treats aplenty while he could enjoy them. You sincerely do hope that. Pogs in the eyes? You can never be so rude and cruel to such a big sweet kitty. He's already suffered so much. Something definitely needs to go in those empty sockets though. If only because you're getting creeped out. Batteries in the eye sockets? Eh? Well, it's worth a try. No! It wasn't worth a try! Tap dancing at the Sporkity is liable to shake its head right out the wall, maybe onto those katanas! Or maybe only one of them is a katana. Well, regardless, the juxtaposition of the swords under a decapitated animal makes for a pretty ghoulish tableau. I can't. This beautiful kitty was more graceful than you can ever hope to be. For all the good it did them. It stopped at 11:11. It has been as long as you can remember. You can fix it, but why bother? It's not like you're going to make a habit out of strolling over to the worst room in your house to check the time. There is something about this key that reminds you of clocks, or at the very least, clockwork. Keys are for opening, for initiating, for unlocking, but also for locking, for finishing, for sealing. Although those uses are much less exciting, what's the point in finding a weird old key just to lock something away? You would love to be out in the yard, feeding these to your precious, wonderful dog, but this isn't the time. This thing is already full of cogs. It doesn't need any cardboard discs. It doesn't need batteries. It runs on, the pendulum? You think? Those brass bars also do something, and you have to open them in the face sometimes. You're not a big student of clocksmanship, but you think this is all pretty much 100% accurate. You could reset the pendulum in motion with a click of your heels, but something stops you. Clockwork. What's set in motion isn't always easy to unrest. Are you sure you're ready for the consequences? Though still, the pendulum reminds you of an exercise, a grand batement and cloche. It sounds impressive, but it's mostly just kind of swinging your leg back and forth. It occurs to you that this could also describe a lot of ballot terms. You've never been entirely clear on what's going on in this tapestry, but it certainly looks intense. Just look at that fire-breathing serpent beast at the bottom, and that red-eyed figure on the throne. What's their deal? Yeah, look at all this. All possible representation and stuff. Probably like foreshadowing. And is that a Smuppet? That's a nose. I recognize that nose. That's a Smuppet. Dang it, Striders! You freaking routing, like infecting culture, man. Anywho, your paw's love of globes knows no bounds, but you don't recognize any of the continents on this one. You would have a better idea what you were looking at if you could read these scribbly labels. All you can make sense of is the X mark. Could it indicate treasure? It's probably the troll world or something. Spin the globe and watch the white beams break across the surface of the globe. Yeah, it's probably nothing thematically important. This globe obviously has nothing to do with any key-shaped objects. What are the animals like on you, fake planet? Are they hungry for treats? You assume so. Animals always want treats, even fake ones, assuming unlike the poor animals in this room, that they are still alive, even fake alive. The best thing about this fake planet? No pogs. Oh yeah. And probably no monsters either. Which used to be a thing you could have said about the real planet that you live on. Not anymore. Apparently. You're 0 for 2, real planet. It doesn't need batteries, but you get the feeling it might need something else. Or maybe you don't. It depends on how much you've heard, what you've been paying attention to, and you know, number of things really. Maybe you could incorporate this inaccurate globe into a ballad about globes. With a bunch of dancers dressed as globes doing pirouettes to simulate spinning? Yeah, that'd be really revolutionary. If you need to move this thing, just give it a spin. No rhythmic stomps necessary. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm gonna take a break, rest my voice a bit, but next time we're gonna continue exploring this room and doing more in Hiveswap Act 1. I love you all. Bye!